What's up, everyone? My name is James Yardley. I work at the Speakeasy Room at the Gin Mill every Monday night. We are a craft cocktail bar with live jazz, and we operate underneath the Gin Mill, which is a bar on the Upper West Side at 81st in Amsterdam. And we serve nice, fancy drinks. We got low lighting. We got the music going. It's a lot of fun. So if you haven't been, please check it out. So welcome to my apartment. Tonight, what we're going to do is talk about some of the toys that I like to keep around to make drinks at home when I'm making drinks for myself or with my friends. I thought this might be a good opportunity to kind of showcase some of these things that I like to use, and maybe it would give you some gift ideas for your friends and family this holiday season. So let's get right into it. I got some tools over here to my right, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them. So first, what we're going to do is talk about the absolute basic must-haves if you're going to make cocktails at home. And there's no better place to start than with our shaker, our shaking tins here. So what I like to use is the Boston shaker. So the reason that you see bartenders using these at almost every bar is because they're fast. They're easy to clean. Whereas if you know what a cobbler shaker is, it has a lot of different pieces and it's much more difficult to clean. These things are fast. So there's a few things that are special about this particular shaker set that I want to talk about why I like them. So first thing is the double weighted tins, something that I like to use. I like the heavy, they just feel balanced in my hand. So this set comes from Top Shelf Bar Supply. You can find this at abarabove.com. And the other thing that is special about this particular set is that it is larger than a lot of other sets that you'll see on Amazon. If you're looking for Boston shakers on Amazon, you'll see different sizes, and the cheaper ones are usually smaller. I like these larger ones, mostly because I can make more than one drink at a time in them, and that's really important if you're a working bartender. But it's also important if you're bartending for your friends at home. You don't want to be stuck in the kitchen or wherever making one drink at a time. So I do recommend getting a larger set. Like I said, this one is from abarabove.com. Also, none of these tools that I'm featuring, nobody's paying me to say any of this. This is really just the stuff that I like to use. So the Boston shaker. So the next thing that I guess we should talk about is the jigger. So this is what you're going to be using to measure all of your ingredients for all of your cocktails. The most important thing about the jigger is that you have one that's just really versatile. Again, if you're a professional bartender, you might want these in all different sizes, but if you just have one at home, I really recommend getting one that's 2 ounces and then 1 ounce. So there's different styles of these. This bell jigger, it just happens to be the one that I have at home. I do really like to use the Japanese style jiggers. That is what I use at the bar, but all mine are at the bar right now. So I have this really cool bell jigger here. The other important thing about this is that you have a variety of measuring lines on the inside. So this one on my 2 ounce side has a 1.5 ounce marking on the inside here, and then on the 1 ounce side you have a 1/4 ounce, you have a 1/2 ounce, you have 3/4 ounce, and then all the way up to the top is an ounce. Really important to be measuring your ingredients if you want good, consistent drinks. Another piece of essential gear is the strainer. So let's talk about strainers real fast, because there's so many of these online. They're all shapes, styles, all this kind of stuff. This is the Hawthorne strainer. This one specifically comes from, again, abarabove.com. So what do I like about this strainer? One, just the size of it. It's nice and compact. A lot of strainers have these little, I don't even know what you call these little tabs that stick out that help you hold the strainer against the end of the tin. But I don't know, I like the more minimal design on this one. Most importantly, with this strainer is the tightness of the coil, this spring right here. When you're shaking drinks, your ice breaks up, and it breaks up into little little shavings, right? And so when you're straining, those shavings, if your coil isn't really tight, if the spring isn't tight, like on the cheaper ones, all those little bits of ice end up floating in your drink and diluting your drink more than you would like it to. So I recommend a really high quality Hawthorne strainer. They said this one is really nice. CocktailKingdom.com makes a really nice one as well. So the reason that I prefer the Hawthorne strainer, if I could only have one, I would always choose this one over the julep strainer. This one's just more versatile, right? It's just more of a workhorse. I can do more with this. I can strain a stirred drink with this, but I couldn't strain a shaken drink with a julep strainer. I could, but again, I would be getting all of those bits of ice in my drink that I don't want. So Hawthorne strainer, Cocktail Kingdom, and Top Shelf Bar Supply both make really nice ones. So check those out. One other piece of kind of essential bartender kit gear is your bar spoon. So these come in different sizes, and I encourage you not to worry too much about the size. What I would do if I were you is just get the shorter one. Again, I do like the ones from Cocktail Kingdom and A Bar Above. There's some cheaper ones on Amazon. You've seen them around. They have like the little red plastic piece on top. The thing that I don't like about those, they're just not comfortable when I'm stirring. These little ridges on those are, I guess they're wider and they're just sharper. And so when I'm stirring, they just don't, it feels rough in my hand. So I like this teardrop bar spoon. I think this one might come from Cocktail Kingdom. I recommend getting the smaller size. I don't remember off the top of my head what sizes they have. The reason that they make longer ones is basically for taller people, where the bar is down here, and if they're standing behind the bar is sitting low, and if they were to be using a shorter spoon, they'd be bending over stirring their drinks. The reason you should get a smaller one just for like home use, or if you're buying one for a friend, is the smaller ones fit in drawers. They're just easier to store. If you're going to bring your kid over to a friend's house, you don't want this long bar spoon sticking out of your backpack. They're just kind of annoying to travel with. So I recommend getting the smaller one. The other thing that's nice about this bar spoon is it's pretty consistent. I can't remember the exact measurement of these, but sometimes you see recipes that call for a bar spoon. Most of the time, they're talking about like this size of bar spoon. So you kind of need one of these. Last piece of essential gear that you're probably going to want to have at home. You know what? You wouldn't even really need this, but it's pretty nice to have, is just an elbow juicer. This one is from OXO. I can't recommend this one, but this is what I have at home, and it gets me through. There's better ones on Amazon. I think Cocktail Kingdom actually has some nice ones that I haven't used yet, but they look nicer than this one. This is just the first one I bought when I started getting into bartending, and I still have it. It still does the job. So you kind of need a juicer if you're going to be making margaritas or whiskey sours, that type of thing. Okay, so you might think that you need a mixing glass if you're going to be making stirred drinks at home, but you don't really. The reason that we use these, now they are nice to have. I really like my mixing glasses. The reason that we use them at the bar is that they're nice and heavy, and they sit on the bar top very well, and I can be stirring here and like shaking another drink at the same time. Whereas if I was stirring in my mixing tin, it wobbles around way more, and that's not fun. So they're nice to have, they're not essential. This one comes from Cocktail Kingdom again. I don't remember the specific size on this one. This is the Uri mixing glass. It's not the seamless, it has a seam. One thing I do like about this one, and I'm gonna link to all of this stuff somehow. Maybe I'll make a document, and then I'll show you the specific pieces that I actually am showing you here, and other pieces that I would recommend. But when you're looking for a mixing glass, just look for like a sturdy one, like thick, sturdy. Because these things break, and actually this one is broken, and the other one I have here is broken. I literally keep these around the apartment. because they still work. And actually, one of these I use to water my plants with. They're just, I don't know, they just look nice to me. I like having them around. But what you want to do is look for one that is just a big, sturdy mixing glass. This one, this one is seamless. That one has a seam. This one is seamless. When you're looking at these online, this one is a little bit more fragile. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a nick right there. So that's why we don't use it at the bar. But just the way the bar spoon moves around in this glass is just nice and smooth. I don't know if it has to do with the seam or what it has to do with, but the seamless ones are nicer to use. But if you're concerned about durability, go with the one that has a seam in it and it's just a big, thicker piece of glass. I would also recommend maybe getting a sleeve that goes over this to help protect it if you're going to be carrying it around, if you're going to bring it to a friend's house, or if you're just clumsy, you can keep like a neoprene sleeve on these, and that's nice to have. So those are mixing glasses, not essential, but nice to have. They're pretty, they're fun. Another piece of equipment you might want to keep around, I like these Y peelers from OXO. Anyone who knows me knows that I take a lot of pride in my orange and lemon twists. So this is what I like to use. These are fairly inexpensive, actually. There's a bunch of different styles of these and different brands. The plastic ones are cheaper, but I find them to be a little bit more dangerous, just for me personally. I just get a nice grip. This has like a rubber grip on it, and so I can get a really good grip. I'm not worried about it slipping off the piece of fruit and slicing my hand open. So this OXO, I can't remember the exact name of it, but I'll link to it. This is the Y peeler that I recommend. But yeah, most likely you want to have a Y peeler at home for your orange and lemon twists. One last piece of equipment that's kind of nice to have, but not essential, are these speed pours. So you see these at the bar a lot, especially if you're a beginner. It's just easier to control the amount you're pouring from the bottle. So this is a spill stop. These are actually really hard to find, but I'm going to show you where to get them. This is the specific one that I like to use. I don't know, it has a model number or something like that, but I'll link to where you can actually find these, because you can't find them on Amazon. I don't know why, or you might be able to now when this is airing. But this is a speed pour, just helps you be a little bit more accurate when you're pouring all your booze into your jigger. So that is the basic kit, and then just a few extras that you might want to keep on hand, not necessary. Let me know if you have any questions, comment below. I love answering questions and talking about this stuff. I'm a huge nerd when it comes to cocktails and drinks and all that kind of stuff. So please hit me up if you have any questions at all. I'm happy to help you out. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.